Obviously very pleased with our defensive effort. They were missing one of their best players, a big kid that has got some physical issues that he may be out for the year, and so we didn't know that coming in. He played 3 games prior to this, but he's got a foot issue that is making things tough for him, and so missing them. But sometimes you look out there on the floor and our kids go, well, he's not here, and you think, oh, this is going to be easy. And sometimes when one of your top players doesn't play, other kids really step up, and that was my concern. But our players did a nice job of not worrying about that, executing the defensive game plan. Most of the time there really is no offensive game plan for us other than move the ball, throw it in. I thought we did a great job of that. We took 8 threes the whole night and just threw it in, shot 51%. But the defense is what I'm most pleased with. We need to rebound the ball better. We should have beaten them worse on the glass as poorly as we made them shoot it. But they play hard, super well coached. But they're gassed. They took a trip out to California, played 2 games. They're home for a day, back on a plane, back on a bus. And when I told Dave this after the game, that's why I quit taking trips to California, because it was so hard coming back and losing 2 hours and having to get your kids ready to play, and then they had to go back on the road. It just is brutal, and we knew that, and so we wanted to run as much as we could. I think their legs were tired. So there were a lot of things working in our favor, but our kids did a nice job of just maintaining focus and doing what we asked them to do, which on the defensive end, if we'll do that, we'll have a decent team.
Scott, I know we're talking different styles of play, different personnel from Oklahoma State to this game. But what pleased you the most about what your team did in terms of the attention to detail and carrying over what they learned from Thursday night into the night's game?
Yeah, I don't know how much we learned that would carry over to this game. What I was most pleased with is almost when you play a team like this that cuts as much as they do, and they do, they're super good at it with that high post and their players moving and cutting, and you almost have to throw out everything we've taught you. Like, we don't want you toward the ball. We want you in between your guy and the basket so he can't back cut you. And so everything we've been trying to teach our guys for 6 or 7 months, we're saying, go back to what you did before, which was not listen to us and do what you and I'm joking there obviously a little bit, but I thought our guys really did a good job of that, and we were fortunate. They got some very good looks early, and they just didn't make them, and I think that's a result of tired legs. I just do. I've coached long enough to know that, and their team is beat up, and if you can jump on a team like that early, you can get them down. And I thought they did. They were out rebounding us in the first half, which should not have happened, which tells you how hard they were playing. They just missed shots early, and they took a bunch of threes. We took very few. We tried to be at the rim, but mostly just that our guys executed a different kind of defensive game plan, and they trusted us and did a great job.
Offensively, you talked about the shot selection. How pleased were you?
Very.
Just to see the team kind of, carry what you emphasized into the game, was working inside and staying with it.
Yeah, much more pleased. We took more free throws than them. We still obviously got to shoot free throws better. That's been an issue for us. But to only take 8 threes in a college basketball game, you're hardly ever going to see that. I thought, we talked to our guys about, like, they're going to run us through offense, and what we can't do is just come down and jack quick shots. We've got to run them through offense and throw it in. We're bigger than they are, particularly with their big kid out. We definitely were, and we've got to throw it in. We got to throw it in, and we did that a lot tonight on our out of bounds plays. We did on much of our offense. We threw it in, and they double teamed, and we still got good shots out of it. We took great care of the ball tonight. 7 turnovers. So offensively, like I say, other than me saying, let's make sure we get good shots, be patient, and our kids did that. 8 threes, I'm all about that. Let's we still can shoot a good percentage shooting 8 threes. Take the right ones and just pound the ball and get to the free throw line.
Yeah. So what do you want to take away from this game and carry that down to Florida?
I think just confidence. I think this helps us going into the game. My concern was NDSU knows who they are because a lot of those kids have played for Dave, where we still don't know who we are and, you know, what our identity is. And I think we're, you know, a game like tonight helps us figure out that defense is going to be the most important thing. I mean, we only scored 69 points, but we won by 20-some. And so, you know, the first game of the year we scored 80 points and got beat by 10. And so it's not necessarily about how many points we're scoring. And there were 67 possessions in the game, so we were a little over 1 point per, which is pretty good, but we were way under 1 point per possession defensively. And that's what it needs to be about for us. Not how many points can we score, but how many stops can we get. And if our guys will stick with that, I really like our team, like our kids. They're all very close. They're happy for each other. It's, you know, for slapping a group together like we did, I feel like we're coming together pretty quickly, and so that's been a lot of fun for me to watch.
What are you looking forward to finding out most from your team, not just from Friday night, obviously, but from the tournament down there in Florida, spending a week together down there? Where do you want to see this team grow in terms of that before they come back here and start the Valley schedule?
Well, probably every coach that's going down there is, you know, can we put it together for 3 games when we don't have a lot of time to prepare? You know, we're probably one of the harder teams to prepare for because we don't have a lot of sets. We don't, you know, you mostly say we're simple. Well, they're man-to-man and they run motion. But we're really not that easy to prepare for because, you know, you just have to focus on personnel. It's hard to tell other teams what we're doing offensively, you know, so they just got to go with tendencies. But it's, you know, if we win or if we, you know, the thing about these kids now, this AAU mentality is if you lose, they get over it pretty quickly because they got a next game the next day. And so the hard part is for me, if that happens, is getting over it and getting myself prepared to get ready for the next game when it's killing me inside that we just lost and I have to move on. It's probably harder for me than it is for them. But, you know, that it's can we focus on each game? I kind of like it because I think we tend to play better when we give them less information. And our kids just play instead of think, and they're less robotic, and I like that. So that'll be the deal because, you know, when we get to the conference championship, that's what you're going to have to do.